Hi there, Cassie Anderson here again, and I have my husband Erik here with me this time.
Hi.
And we are reporting to you on the 1-year anniversary of the start date. I started topical steroid withdrawal on January 1st, 2017, and today is January 1st, 2018. So we are really excited to have a whole year under our belts, but still not done yet. So anyways, I thought it would be nice to get Erik on here and to just get another window into our lives of what it looks like from the caretaker, from the spouse, from the husband's perspective. So I'll let you talk a little bit. What has this year looked like for you? What did you expect, and how do you think it went?
Well, it's kind of like being a husband for the first time or a parent for the first time. Nothing really prepares you for it completely, but doing the research and relying on others who are going through it or been through it further down the road than you is very important. The number one starting point for me would be, if you don't know Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, you're kind of starting behind. That's been huge for us, is just our reliance on God for our strength, our patience, working through the hard times together, and enjoying the good times to the fullest. Number two would be, like I said, the research that goes into that, financially, looking forward to that. Number three, being willing to ask for help, because especially if you have children, it's not easy to go to work, full day's worth of work, come home, and be ready to invest in your wife, in your kids, or your spouse, your kids, and then be willing to dishes, laundry, clean the house, do the yard work, whatever it takes to get through the day. So being willing to ask for help and allow others to help you accomplish those tasks is huge. Having other families with children, if you're going through this with children, them being willing to either one, come visit you with their children and allow your kids to continue to interact in a setting outside of school, I think has been huge for our boys. You can definitely tell when they are, when they've been with just, we've got 3 boys, and when they've gone a week with just seeing each other, you can tell there's tension there. Mm-hmm. And then just family and friends being willing to understand what you're going through, that you're not going to make it to all the big events throughout the year, has been good. Our family's been very supportive and very helpful.
Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest things that we could have done, that we did right, looking back, hindsight. Just when we did do our research and we knew what to expect, even if we didn't know how mild or severe my withdrawal was going to be, we did prepare like for the worst, because that's what you just have to do. And so, we tried to talk to our friends and family and give them a realistic perspective on what could be, so that if we weren't showing up to things, and of course we communicated that over this last year as birthdays and holidays came up, we just took it that day and just said, okay, I'm feeling okay, or no, I'm not, I can't make it. And they were so full of grace, knowing that I'm on this healing journey and it's what's to be expected right now. And that's been huge for us. So for instance, in July, the boys, Erik took the boys on vacation, out of state to visit with family, and I stayed behind, and that's okay. I knew that was a piece of this journey, and I needed to do that to protect my own health. And, so Erik was really nice to take lots of pictures and include me in live video footage to chat, to feel like I was there. He'd give me panoramic scene shots, and likewise for Thanksgiving, they traveled out of state again in another direction, and I stayed behind. I think that's been helpful, just knowing that we had that in place, and people are full of grace. Yeah. So.
I would say the biggest thing that I've seen for Cassie where she does well is when she's concentrated on others, and I think that's a huge part. Just being willing to pass the information along for those of you just starting or further behind in your process. Just being willing to say, hey, here's what we found has worked for her. Here's what's worked for us as a family. Here's places that we found things the cheapest or most cost effective. And so I think that's big, just to be outward focused, right? Because the truth is it's got to be easy to be woe is me. It's a long process. It's a hard process. I don't envy my wife. I don't want the breaks in my skin, the cracking, the oozing, the bleeding, the itching, and all of that. But to be outward focused is big. And then as well, just her doing her best to be active around the house with me and the kids. Again, not just laying around saying take care of me, but trying to do what she can. And number one, that helps me and the boys. Number two, I'm sure that helps with her mindset. And then, for any couple going through this, physical intimacy is big. Goes both ways. So when able, I would encourage you to take advantage of the time, because it's not always going to be there, and it can be a source of tension and frustration.
Yeah, we want to take care of each other's needs and be proactive with that. We have a visitor. Do you want to say hi? We're on a video, so please make it quick. Hello! This is our middle son, Gunner. Thank you, Gunner. Yeah, so I think mindset is huge. Like Erik was saying, just trying to find things to do to keep busy. That's huge. I spend a lot of my time indoors and in my bubble, and I do that to protect my skin. I'm still very easy to react, so it's hard for me to be out in other people's homes. It's hard for me to be around crowds, and if you're anything like myself, which a lot of us are highly sensitive, you get what I'm saying, because it doesn't take much to be around somebody's fragrance or laundry detergent or chemicals and to flare. And so it's just learning to set boundaries and being okay with that. But some of the things that I've been able to do from home or in moderation that will help me keep an outward focus would be I've done some computer work for our local church and just kind of cleaning out some of their database. It's a volunteer basis, and some of you might be able to find paid positions to do stuff like that, but that's been helpful to me because it's something that I have been able to do in moderation. Another church, I've been helping redesign the website, and then of course, you all know we have our own health and wellness business that we work from home, and just being able to do that a lot, from even hiding behind the computer and phone. Even on a bad day when I look and feel bad, I can still be helping others in a very tangible way. So yeah, and then last report I gave you, I've been able to help out at the church through Awana. It's a kids program where I can be an adult supervising, and I don't really have to be hands-on. I don't have to use my fine motor skills. I can sit around and I can help kids memorize verses, and that feels good to me, to be a part of something. And that's, it's not something that's mandatory. It's something that as each week comes, if I'm feeling okay, I can show up and do that. A side note with Erik mentioning, taking care of each other's needs, husband and wife needs. it breaks our heart whenever we hear of a TSW story of a couple separating during this time. When we look at the lifespan, the human lifespan, 1 to 4 years of withdrawal, it seems like such a long time, but it's really a fraction of a lifespan. And the good news is that we have a way out of our situation. It's not pretty, it's not glamorous, it's not easy. Every day is really long and hard sometimes, but I mean, we just made our 1-year mark, and it really was over in a blink of an eye. It's kind of like having a baby, right? I mean, the days are long, the years are fast, and we just want to remind you of that because it is difficult. It's hard. It's tough. It's not easy. You really have to make a choice every single day to choose happiness, to choose hope, and to know that one day you will be healed. So just keep persevering and hang in there and give each other grace. Give yourself grace. I think that's the biggest thing that I've had to learn to do, is that I have really high expectations of myself and what I want to accomplish every day, every week, every month, and within this year. And, I want to make plans. But I also know that I have to keep it in perspective, because even though I do want to make plans and I want to be there for other people and holidays and different things, I need to let myself stay behind if I have to. So, but It's all worth it. We've been getting by, and this will be over and done with before we know it. So, anything else?
Hope this encourages you. Hope it gives you a little bit of insight into how we operate and what's just things to look for.
Yeah. All right. God bless you guys, and we wish you the best in your healing journey. Bye.